Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Please get comfortable here, and if you're an old subscriber, thank you for always coming by. Before I start this video, I just want to say thank you for all of the love that I received in my last video. You guys are so amazing. So if you don't know the video I'm talking about, it's a video where I spoke German. I'm super grateful for all of your kind words. I mean, you guys flattered me, and I mean, you guys gave me so much credit for nothing. I'm like, really, I'm not there yet, but I'm still learning. But I'm super grateful for all of the support I received. If you haven't seen that video, I'm just going to link it right here, and then you can go watch it. So in this video, I'll be answering your questions as regards how I learned German so fast and how long it took me to learn German. So I got that question pretty much, even though I answered it during the course of that video. I don't know, but people asked me that question a whole lot, so I decided to make this video just to address that. So if you're interested, I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So now let's go right into this video. First and foremost, I just want to give a bit of a background for people who are here for the first time. I've been living in Germany for the past 6 years plus now. I moved in here with my family, and I started learning German from the very first year we came. Yes, point number one, I think you should note that. So we came in April of 2014, and I was already in a German school in December. So I started off with an integration course, Integrationskurs in German, like they would say. And this course is designed basically for people who move to either permanently reside in Germany or have plans to live in Germany long enough to need the language, you know. So if you're in Germany, maybe just for a few years, you might not be needing that. But I advise you, even if you're not sure if you're going to be here, because we came to Germany to live 2 years, and I told you guys it's 6 years already, right? So I enrolled for that course, and that course lasted 6 months. So the scope of that course includes you know, at the end of the course you get like the B1 certificate, which is like it's not the lowest level, but it's the third level, but the most significant. So basically you get a B1 certificate, and you do also the Leben in Deutschland exams. That's like one of the requirements you need to naturalize here in Germany, and then you get the B1, like I said. So basically those are the two things that are involved. Those are the two things you'll be learning, and then at the end of the day, that's the certificate you get. It's regulated by BAMF, and it's basically the body, the agency in charge of migration and refugees here in Germany. So I enrolled for this course immediately we came, like I said, in December, to finish the following year, 2015, in July. My course was actually accelerated because we were all like educated on that course. So I understand that if you're not educated, you can go and start from the Alpha course, which is the A1, B1, you know, A1, A2 and B2. So within that B1 scope, we were supposed to actually learn the A1, A2 and then finish up with the B1, which we did. But the A1, A2 we just sped through. It was just like a week. For 1 week A1, the second week A2, and then we ended up learning, you know, we spent more time learning the B1 because so it was easy to grasp, and I guess that's why everything was kind of like accelerated. A1, after the A1, A2, we did like sort of an in-house test just to see if we passed, and then we could move on. So but it was just within the school that I attended. So I attended a German school. You know, here in Germany there are different schools, yeah, privately owned, and the government sponsors people who are socially dependent to, you know, learn German. But because we were not under the social system, I had to pay for this test, and it was quite expensive, really quite expensive. Though there are certain incentives that the government, you know, puts in place, like you get a slash of I think you eventually pay 2/3 of the fees, which was what we got. I mean, it was the best deal. Yeah, it was still very expensive. but I eventually enrolled and I studied. And within the scope of that course, I said you have to learn that Leben in Deutschland exams. You have to do that, and the B1 exams, which is the most important. So if you pass both, you get an integration certificate. I'll insert that here, my own. And then you get the B1 certificate, and then you get the Leben in Deutschland certificate. So like 3-in-1 certificate, and that was what I got. But you have to pass the B1 to get like everything, So the Leben in Deutschland said exam is actually just German people and culture. You're just learning a bit of history of the German people, their culture, and just generally, so you have to study about, it took us 2 weeks to learn everything, and then we had to study 350 questions. Yes, 350 questions to answer only 33. Funny, right? So I mean, I was not lucky, but I gave my best, and I had like 33 out of 33, so it was a good pass. I mean, if you get anything less than 17, you are off. You have failed the course thing. And then I passed, and I got all of the certificates. And then I was talking about the incentive that the government gives. If you pass your integration course, at the end of the course you get a refund of half of the sum you paid. Half of your fees is being returned back to you. So, and that was what I got. It was such a rewarding feeling, that I gave my best and I passed, and then the government refunded me half. So I paid, I think, about 690 euros thereabouts, and I got back over 300 plus. So it was just very rewarding. I felt like very fulfilling, I felt very fulfilled. So basically that course lasted 6 months. So by the time I finished B1, like you would know, B1 level is not enough for you to say you know German so well. You need more than that. So at that time I was searching for jobs, and I realized that my German wasn't good enough, so I had to go back to study. So I went back again for a B2 in the same school that I'd studied my B1. So I enrolled. I was 2 weeks late, but I joined. And so because I've had my B1 like a year ago, I had to undergo another test to see that I'm still up to speed with the language level that I had, the B1 level. So I passed, and then I joined the class, and that class lasted for 3 months. So I'd had 6 months B1 and then 3 months B2, right? And at the end of the day I sat for the exams, and I passed, and then I got a B2 certificate. But I must say that in all of this, my level of comprehension of the German language actually kept on increasing with every course that I attended, but my spoken German suffered. And I'm going to tell you why, but that will be in another video on tips on how to learn the German language very fast. So my spoken German suffered because as much as I understood so much, I wasn't confident enough to speak the language, but the understanding was there. And sometimes I have like very high vocabulary, but to string a simple German syntax was super hard for me, and I will explain that in the next video and the things that I did to kind of overcome it. So I went through the B2 exams, and normally with the German exams you have like 3 parts of exams to write. You do the oral, you do the written, and then the comprehension, which they call in German the Sprechen, Sprachbausteine und Schreiben. So 3 parts. So if you pass 2 out of 3, you would pass. You have the certificate, but among the 2 you have to pass is the spoken one. So if you pass the spoken one and either of the written or the comprehension, then you're good to go. But otherwise, even if you get the written and the comprehension, you don't get the certificate. The spoken has to be passed. So I passed all, because you prepare for an exam, you pretty much work with past questions, so you know exactly, not exactly, but you have an incline of the possible questions that will come. And I pretty much, I think I went to a good school and I got good teachers who helped, and then I was able to scale through, but my spoken German suffered, and I will explain all of that, like I say, in another video. So that was how I finished with my B2 level, and I got the certificate that I'll insert here. And afterwards I decided to study in Germany because I was looking for a job and I wasn't getting a job yet. Like most companies will hire people with, you know, native German speakers. Nobody wants you to come there and begin to stammer and not, you know how to navigate your way speaking the language. So it was pretty much hard for me to get into any job, and I wanted to kind of further my education. So I went for a postgraduate degree at the university, and that course was designed in a way that while you're still studying, you have a chance to kind of sit for the C1 level. The C1 level is the highest level of certification for the German language. I mean, the C2 level is the highest, which is like native speaker. You have to speak like a native to have that C1. People don't get it. Yes, if you're a foreigner, well, I haven't seen anyone, and most people say that. So if you have the C2 level and you're a foreigner, big ups to you. Leave me a comment, I would like to know, but I haven't seen anyone. So for me, C1 is like the top. Like that's what most of your teachers will tell you, that if you have C1, you don't need to go for a C2. So I sat for the C1 exam, and I passed both, you know, I passed two parts of that exam, which was the spoken and the comprehension. Those were the two parts I passed. But the third part, which is the written one, you have to have like a B2 level to pass it. But then I got like a lower grade for it, so they didn't award me the C1, but it's written that I passed both classes, and that is also valid. And because I had gotten my B2 level within the last 1 year, it's still valid. You know, I have, you know, in the B2 that I passed, I had like this, the written in the written part I got the B2, which is what I need to get like a C1. So I have a B2 already, and I have a C1 on both. So I have a C1 if you ask me. So basically that is it. But I had to improve my spoken German, and how I did that I'll tell you guys in my next video. So this is basically what I did. If you put everything together, my time at the university was like 1 year, and then 6 months of B1 and 3 months of B2 together. I mean, I spaced it. I didn't do it like in a stretch. So basically this is how much time I gave, apart from my own personal study time and the things that I did. If you want to know what my personal things that I did that helped me to learn the German language fast, and how I was able to also meet up with my spoken German, and yes, if you want to know all of that, then watch this space, and that video is going to come right up after this. So thank you for staying through. If you have any more questions, just leave them in the comment section, and I'm going to address every question. I appreciate the support, and let's keep this going, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you. Don't forget, it works if you work it. Bye.